It's our favorite complete recipe collection filled with mouth-watering homemade dishes featuring breads, breakfasts, appetizers, lunch, dinners, and desserts. Get out your measuring cups, mixer, and chopping board. The Home and Backyard Cookbook begins right now. Here at the Holy Annunciation Monastery in Sugarloaf, the good sisters do a lot of praying, a lot of baking, all done with great love. Let's go meet the sisters.
We belong to the Roman Rite Order of Discalced Carmelites, but by a very special permission, we have our own typicon, which means our rule, our constitutions, our prescriptions are just for this house. No other Carmelite monastery in the world has our constitutions. We are here for God and for God's people, which means we left the world so we can't go out to you except by praying for you. But you can come to see us. We are open to pray with you if you will come to our services. We have a bakery, we have animals, and we do have an open barn during the summer, and children love the little horses, the miniature cows, and it's a beautiful area. Sugarloaf is really beautiful.
Well, I'm here in the kitchen with Sister Andrea, and she is a Byzantine Carmelite nun. And Sister, you guys do a lot of baking here. Today you're going to bake something for us. What are we doing?
A lemon pound cake.
So where do we begin in making this cake?
First, the butter is softened.
All right.
So that's what we're going to do now. So when the butter is softened, we gradually add the sugar, and that you have to beat until it's light and fluffy.
Okay.
You can tell by the color and by the texture.
Yeah, you kind of get a feel for it.
Yeah.
So how much sugar are we putting in?
We're putting in 3 cups of sugar.
3 cups? Okay.
Into 1.5 cups of butter.
Okay.
It's good to scrape down the sides.
Okay.
And I'll be doing that probably now.
All right, sounds good.
So the next thing that we do is put in 8 eggs, and you have to put them in one at a time, and after each one, make sure that it's very well mixed. And then let it go until the yolk disappears.
All right, gotcha.
But this has a lot of flavoring. For these 2 little loaf pans, we'll be adding 1.5 tablespoons each of lemon juice and lemon extract.
Nice.
Which is strong, but the taste is not overpowering.
Right.
If you can find real lemon juice, that makes a difference also.
Yeah.
We have lemon juice because of our jelly making, and the sisters use a lot of lemon juice in the jellies, so we're fortunate to have the real juice that we can add into things like this too. So the last 3 eggs are going to go in.
Okay.
And after the eggs go in, the last thing before the flavorings is the flour.
Okay.
And it's also 3 cups of flour.
All right, sounds
3
good.
cups of flour, 3 cups of sugar, and the 1.5 cups of butter is just 3/4 of a pound if it's easier for some people
To remember. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we can start adding the flour.
Now, is that something you have to add a little at a time also?
Also, and slow the mixer down, otherwise it'll blow
We'll be
up in your
covered in it.
face. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired of snow, so I don't want any more snow.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like all-purpose flour, regular all-purpose
And
flour.
actually, we use gold medal.
Okay.
Because a gold medal is very good and you don't have to sift it,
Oh, okay.
which is a big time saver.
Yes. And this recipe makes 2 loaves.
Yeah, you have your choice. You can do either 1 bundt pan or the 2 loaves. The loaf pan is actually a little bit easier to work with because it's easier to distribute. You know, the bundt pan, you have to keep turning.
And like even like getting it out and everything, it's so much easier.
And all you do with these pans is grease and flour them both.
Okay.
It's actually an amazing cake because there's really nothing, no leavening in it. And some pound cakes you bake at a very, very low temperature for a long time.
Yeah.
This one you do for 1 hour at 350.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that all the flour is smoothed in, that there are no lumps in there before we put the extract in, because this will blend a very short time.
All right.
This is 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice and 1.5 tablespoons of lemon extract.
And now Sister Mary is joining us, and you're going to put it into the loaf pans.
Yes, and these are just standard 9x5 loaf pans. It's a very thick batter, and it bakes for 1 hour, so it kind of settles as it's baking, so you don't have to do really too much by way of flattening it out. So we're not going to press it in or anything, but just get it more or less towards each side.
All right, kind of like lightly evening it out.
Yeah, and so we have convection ovens here, which means our temperature will be reduced, but in a conventional oven it's 350.
350? Okay.
350 for 1 hour.
All right. Well, sisters, thank you so much for having us today and for baking this beautiful lemon pound cake. And why don't you tell everybody a little bit more about the sisters?
Well, we're Ruthenian Catholic nuns here in Sugarloaf. We have a bakery. We sell all kinds of things, cheesecake, rolls, jellies, yogurt. Now we're doing yogurt also. That's become very popular.
Yeah, it's really nice. You have like a beautiful gift shop here. So if people want to stop by, pick up some gifts or pick up some baked goods, they can do that. Or you can also order online, right?
Right. We have a website, Monastery Pantry website.
Yes.
But if they want to come in person, our gift shop is open every day from 10 until 4, except on Sundays.
And also, we want to tell everybody, if they did want to stop here and they want to attend Mass, the folks are welcome to do that too, right?
That's lovely. Our liturgies are open to the public every day. And from Monday to Saturday, they're at 8:30, and on Sundays, they're at 12 o'clock noon.
Sisters, thank you so much again. We really
You're
had
welcome.
a great time. It was a lot of fun to learn how to bake this beautiful cake.
You're welcome.
Take care. Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you. If you're looking for a perfect place to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, well, Cooper's Seafood is your spot. I'm here with Marie Taylor, and Marie, you have a tradition here at Cooper's, and what is it that you make every single year that you actually sell to people?
Yes, it's our Irish soda bread.
Nice,
Yes.
nice. And who doesn't love that, right?
Now people love it. Okay, what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna put the flour in here, which I did sift. You have to sift
Oh, okay.
the flour. And I like to sift the salt and the baking soda because it clumps up. What
Okay.
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my flour in that I already sifted, 4
All right.
cups. Then I'm going to add my sugar, 1.5 cups, the salt, sea salt if you like, and baking soda, which I always sift because it gets lumpy. So what I'm gonna do now, what I did was I bloomed my raisins. What you'd wanna do is plump them.
Okay.
So that they can extract and the sugars come out.
All right.
And what I'm gonna do is sift it.
So do you put them in just water?
Yeah, hot water.
Oh, hot
But
water.
then what I do here is I have a little Jameson's, and as a special treat, I put the Jameson's on top of this.
Oh, nice. How long does it take for them
To
to
bloom
bloom?
it?
Yeah.
10 minutes, not
Oh,
even.
quick,
Not even,
okay.
real quick. You want to do that when you're baking with raisins anyway. I like to bloom it, like
Okay.
even for when I make my bread pudding.
Okay.
The next is my butter, and my butter is all cubed up nice and cold.
All right.
And you want to get that all incorporated nice in there.
All right.
And while you're waiting for that to go, I have my buttermilk. I have 1 3/4 cup of buttermilk. I add an egg to that.
All right.
And what we're gonna do is that's the last process we're gonna do before we make this.
Okay.
So now that you see the clumpers in
Yes.
there, you're gonna add your buttermilk and let that whip up nice. Okay, so now we're gonna scrape the bowl onto a little flour. Because like I said, I think it's a little loosey-goosey.
All right.
So,
Has to be just right.
yeah, if you feel, you see it's like, it's really gooey.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna add a little bit more flour.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna fold it in a little bit more.
That's how with any kind of dough too, right? You kind of got to get the right feel
You gotta
for
get the
it.
right consistency
Yeah.
for it. And I might as well just give it a little bit more shake down there. It's a messy job too.
It is, but it's worth it.
It's worth it. I am going to spray, this is my pans that I use.
All right.
Because this is well over like a pound. It's almost like 2 pounds. Just flour that. So I'm gonna put that in my greased pan. This is the most important part here, is you
Oh.
gotta make the cross.
I love it.
That's big with the soda bread. And I have my little egg wash here. I like to use egg and a little buttermilk, but you can use half and half for milk. That's
Okay.
fine. And I just brush that on.
Beautiful.
And this is gonna go into our oven. Now, people's oven in their house, it'll be like 350. It takes a good 40 minutes.
Okay.
But we have these beautiful ovens. They're called Rationales, and they tell me what to do. They
Wow.
really do. They really
I like
do.
that. Marie, thank you for showing us how to make this Irish soda bread. And while the bread is baking, we're going to head out and learn more about the beer. Thanks again, Marie.
Oh, thank you guys. It was a pleasure. It was a lot of fun too.
It sure was. Thanks.
Come sail away with Cooper Seafood. Bring your family, great food and adventure. There's something for everyone. Sail away with Cooper Seafood.
Well, we're here in the bar with Jesse Cooper, and Jesse's the brewmaster here, and that's why we're here, because we're talking about the beer, because a lot of people don't know that you now make your own beer. You brew your own beer here at Cooper's, right?
We do, right in the basement.
Yeah, that's
Right?
amazing.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that here?
It's going to be two years this May, so
Excellent.
still very new. We just got new equipment. We're excited. Right now, I have 8 beers on draft, and for every season, I always make seasonal beers. Like right now, it's St. Patrick's Day is obviously around the corner, so you have to brew an Irish stout. So I do have an Irish stout on tap. So an Irish stout, the main component that drives the flavor is roasted barley from the UK. So it's almost like a coffee roasting process. Guinness is the most famous one, of course, but there's tons of different styles of Irish stouts.
Jesse, thank you so much for having us here today. And why don't you tell everybody a little more about what goes on here at Cooper's, especially for the St. Patrick's Day holiday?
Yeah, from parade day all the way up until St. Patrick's Day, we have a great Irish menu. Best corned beef in Lackawanna County, as far as I'm concerned. We have shepherd's pie, we got ham and cabbage, all the favorites.
Love it.
Obviously, all the Irish whiskeys and Irish beers that will be on tap, like Smithwick's and Harp, and
Perfect.
Guinness, of course. Just a good energy. We decorate, we put flags everywhere.
Love
and
it.
yeah, if you want to find out more, you could find us on Facebook or any of the social media platforms like Cooper's Seafood, Cooper's Family Brewing even.
Excellent.
If you want to learn about what beers we have on.
Great. And why don't you finally tell folks where you're located?
North Washington Ave, 701 North Washington Ave, Scranton.
Thanks again, Jesse. We really appreciate and
Thanks for-
happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Right here on the corner of Route 267 and Quaker Lake Road in Choconut is the Choconut Inn. It's been here since 1850. It was a post office, a stagecoach, and of course an inn. It's a local watering hole, and we're going to go inside and check out what they have to offer. Well, I'm in the kitchen here with Edward Brewington, and Chef, what are we making today?
Today we're going to make a chicken marsala. We're going to pick out a nice, good, tender piece of chicken.
Okay.
Got a nice cutlet here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the fat off.
Okay.
All right. So now I'm going to butterfly it.
Perfect. Okay, we're doing another piece?
Yep. I'm going to do 2 pieces.
Okay.
Usually our full order includes two 6 ounces.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're
Nice
actually getting the
size.
12 ounces.
Great. Nice
Yeah.
portion.
Yes. So now I like to include a nice thin a layer of plastic. That way I don't get the fat everywhere. And I just take this here. Not too hard, very lightly, you know.
So we're kind of like flattening out, tenderizing it a bit?
Yeah, you want to get a nice even layer.
Right.
Cutlet, very thin.
It does make such a difference, doesn't it,
Oh,
when
yeah.
you pound it out?
Yeah, very much so. Because you want it to cook even.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes you'll have a thicker piece
Yes,
at
yes.
the end, you know, so you want it to cut nice and even. Okay, so we're all good there.
There we
Voila.
go. Looks good.
All right. Now we're going to put it in the dredge. I'm
right.
going to season it. Okay, I have a all-purpose flour.
All right.
Okay, put a nice coat.
Now, Chef, is this a special here that you run occasionally?
Well, it's one of our specials. It's actually one of our a favorite. People really enjoy it. They tend to like it. All right, so now my oil is being heated up.
Okay.
All right, I use olive oil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, olive oil, the good stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, all right, my 2 cutlets in. Let's test and see. The oil is nice and hot. Oh yeah, she's ready. All right, so now that it's heating up, we use the olive oil, let it brown a little bit more. This is where I'm going to add my seasoning to it. A little bit of garlic in, a little bit of seasoning salt. Bada bing, bada boom, a little Italiano.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah. You want to get that garlic nice and
Kind of incorporated in there, right?
yeah.
Into the olive oil. Oh, wow, that's good.
getting all that flavor in there. So now I'm going to add a little bit of flour
Okay.
to absorb that extra oil.
All right, sounds good. It's kind of thickening it up a little bit.
Right. It's going to thicken. It's going to make a nice gravy. We're going to turn it one more time. Nice and brown. All right, this is where the fun begins.
Okay, what are we doing here?
We're going to add some marsala to it.
Oh,
The
beautiful.
marsala wine.
Nice.
Get that nice flame.
Yes. You
All
gotta
right.
love the flame.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need that flame.
Yes. Alrighty, so it's gonna simmer a little bit here.
Yeah, you want to get that simmer. Add some mushrooms.
So all that's gonna burn off, that alcohol burns off in there,
Right.
and you have that nice flavor, right?
Yeah, exactly. But you definitely want to get that flame.
Yeah, looks good.
There you go. That's what we
Oh,
want.
yeah.
That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see right there. Once your flame goes out, you want to take and turn your fire down. Just let it simmer a bit. That way the chicken cooks all the way through and your mushrooms absorb all that nice flavor, the garlic. By the way, I use fresh garlic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, fresh
Okay.
garlic. None of that with that
Okay,
powder stuff.
yes.
There's our chicken marsala at the Coconut Inn, one of our favorite dishes.
Edward, thank you so much for having us here today at the Coconut Inn and making this great dish for us. Why don't you tell everybody where you're located?
Oh, great. Thank you so much. We're at the Coconut Inn on 10 Quaker Lake Road, Friendsville, PA. Zip code is 18818. We have a Facebook page, the Coconut Inn. We'll be glad for you guys to come and visit us, hopefully soon.
Great. Thanks again, Edward. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for coming.
Here at the Anthracite Cafe in Wilkes-Barre, they pay tribute to the hardworking coal miners that made this area. And they also pay great tribute to good food. We're going to head inside. I'm here with chef and owner Mike Prushinsky, and I can't wait to see what we're preparing today.
We're having stuffed scallops with a crab stuffing and a side of chantilly potatoes.
Oh, that sounds heavenly.
So you better be hungry. Well, we're going to make the stuffing first
Okay.
by chopping some fine onions.
All right. Now this is something that you have on the menu regularly, right?
We have this on the menu on our seafood night on Wednesdays, but I'm putting together a new menu, a totally new menu.
Awesome.
And this is going to be one of the items on this menu because
Great.
of its popularity that it has on Wednesdays.
I've heard some really great stuff about this place. Can't wait to taste the food.
Well, we are we're pretty busy, which is a good thing. We're noted for burgers and wings, but
Nice.
our food on our dinner items are all home-style comfort food with a little bit of a twist.
Nice. Now, this is known as a scratch kitchen, right? Maybe you could tell
Correct.
everybody what that means.
Well, I adopted that name because of the fact that we use everything from scratch.
Nice.
Or we make everything from scratch, I
Right.
should say.
Yeah.
But, you know, fresh chicken, fresh seafood, nothing frozen. All our soups are homemade. Honestly, the only thing we don't do is make our own pasta.
Excellent.
Which, that could be a chore at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we're doing here is we have some onions, peppers, mixed peppers, and then we're going to take this over to the saute pan
Super.
with a little bit of oil.
Okay.
So we'll let that saute for a minute. We add a little bit of Old Bay seasoning
Okay. Yum.
and a little bit of fresh garlic. Okay, and once this cooks translucent, then we'll put this in a mixing bowl and add our crab meat and some other components to make the stuffing for the scallops.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, so we take it off the heat and bring it over to a mixing bowl. And at this point, we're going to add, we use a petite jumbo lump crab meat.
Nice. This sounds fabulous.
So we're just going to make enough to stuff 3 scallops.
Right. Okay.
And then we're going to add a little bit of mayonnaise and a little bit of fresh parsley,
Delicious.
as well as a touch of butter. And then the last thing is some panko breadcrumb.
Great. Kinda make
Helps,
it stick
mend it together.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we're going to
Delicious.
fold this together. We try not to break up the crab meat too much so it has a nice big lumpy
Yeah.
bite to it.
Gotta love that, right?
And once we got that done, then we'll bring out our scallops. We use a fresh U9, which is a sizing of the scallops. It's a very large scallop.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
We use fresh, not frozen. The frozen have a tendency of holding a lot of water, and then they'll shrink
Oh, yeah.
when they cook.
Okay. That
So
makes sense.
if you have an opportunity to buy scallops, always buy fresh.
All right.
But then again, everything's better fresh.
It is. You're right.
We're just going to slice these 3 jumbo scallops across. And we'll take our casserole dish.
Yes.
And then we're
is
going to
fun.
lay the bottom halves of each scallop down. Like this. We're going to take a scoop
Yes.
and we're going to form a little bit of a patty. And we're going to lace this right on top of each scallop.
Great. Oh, that's such a nice portion too.
All fresh. All the ingredients
Yeah.
are fresh. That's what we try to do here. Buy local and cook fresh. And we'll cover the crab meat with the top half of each scallop.
Beautiful.
And then a little bit of Chardonnay and whole butter. And we'll actually top it off with just a pinch of Old Bay.
Ugh,
More
this
for
looks
color
super.
than flavor.
Yeah.
And then from here, we're going to go into the oven. At home, 350 degrees for maybe 20, 25 minutes until their scallops are fully cooked. But here in a restaurant setting, it's more like 10 minutes at 500 degrees.
Gotcha. Okay, Mike, what's next?
Well, at this point, we're going to prepare a little side dish for you. I've already prepared some whipped potatoes, fresh whipped potatoes with salt, pepper, whole butter, and heavy cream. And then we're going to add some fresh cut chives. Then we're going to add fresh garlic.
Oh my goodness, this sounds
And
good
then
already.
from there,
Garlic.
we're going to go after some soft cream cheese.
Love mashed potatoes. They are comfort food. Like you said, you serve
yeah.
some comfort food.
And
Gotta love it.
people just love mashed potatoes here. Maybe because they're fresh.
I think that's what it is, because a lot of us just don't have the time to do it, so we
yeah,
can come here and get
everything
them.
out of a box. That's why
know.
we call ourselves a scratch
I
kitchen.
like it.
So then we're just going to fold that cream cheese into here. And then we have a little casserole that we will top. Fill that up for you. You look hungry, so we'll put lots in there
Oh,
for
yeah.
you this time. And then we're going to top it with a little bit of butter. And this will also go in the oven until it gets a nice brown crust on top.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And we serve this gravy-less. No need for gravy.
Right.
Because there's so many other components in here.
Sounds great. All right.
And let's throw this guy in here as well.
Okay, Mike, I get to taste it.
Now's the moment.
Lucky me. Okay. Wow.
Fresh stuff.
Oh, it's so delicious. The
You'll need
scallop
a nap
and the
after
stuffing.
that.
I would need a nap after this, and I would never share a bite of this. I'm sorry. Let me taste the potatoes because they look delicious, and I love mashed potatoes.
Yeah, this is a little different version of mashed potatoes. Taste
Boy,
the
you
cream
can taste
cheese.
the cream. Yeah, the cream cheese and the scallions, and I like the little bit of crisp on top.
Thank you.
Now I know everyone's going to want to visit the Anthracite Cafe, so give us a little bit of information.
We're on Scott Street in Parsons section, Wilkes-Barre, 804 Scott Street.
Great.
And we have a website, great website, anthracitecafe.net. And you'll see this and everything else that we do on that website.
Sounds great. I am definitely going to stop by.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
We'll see you next time on the Home and Backyard Cookbook.